What the fuck is going on with this thing?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome you to County Court number 2. My name is Judge Terrence L. Holmes. I'm the presiding judge here in County Court number 2. This morning, we have our announcement docket. And when I call your name, we're going to ask that you come forward to the bench with your attorney. If your attorney is not here, your attorney may be in another court handling another matter. Or if you do not have an attorney, then we will ask you to come up to the bench by yourself if you do not have an attorney. Now, if your attorney is not here, we'll wait for your attorney to arrive. Let's see.
Please for Mr. Macon, Judge, and we've already sent them over.
What?
Vote for please for Mr. Macon, we've sent them over.
And which?
We have a Regina Carroll and an Alec Torres.
Perez?
Yes.
Okay. I think you're working on. Okay.
Yeah, the night this
Torres.
or this
Okay.
No, that's not them.
Franklin Derek Goki. This is cause number M330184. Case of style of state of Texas versus Franklin Derek Goki. Mr. Goki, is that your full name?
Yes,
How are you doing, Mr. Goki?
good, sir.
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Goki, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney James Macon. Attorney Macon, how are you doing?
It's Friday, Your Honor. I'm
Well.
doing fine.
Just found that.
For
out.
for some reason, I thought it was Thursday.
Oh, no.
Even though they wrote Friday on here.
And the state is represented in this case by Attorney Haley Simmons. Attorney Simmons, how are you doing?
I'm good, Judge, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Now, Mr. Macon, what is your announcement in Mr. Goki's case?
Your Honor, Mr. Golke has cases in other counties, and I'm working to get everything put together, and I would ask for 30 days on Mr. Golke's case.
Okay, I'm looking at a note that's on the docket sheet. Is he in Veterans Court or did he apply for Veterans Court?
They
or
say
something?
he's gotta be on probation and then get in Veterans Court. It's confusing to me every time.
Oh, okay, because there was a note about Veterans Court.
Right.
Okay, now,
He qualifies, it's just he has
this,
to be on probation.
yeah, this case is, well, it's actually a pretty old case. We need to get this case wrapped up. The court cannot continue to reset cases when people get other cases. If that's the case, people can keep on getting other
I think it
cases.
was reset mainly because I was out ill, Your Honor, I'm sorry.
Okay. So, we're gonna put this case on our pretrial conference docket. Give us a reset.
Senate.
Okay, this case will be reset to October 7th, 2024. Mr. Goki, your attorney is gonna get your reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go and have a blessed day.
Yes, sir.
Step over here to you. All right.
You just want to mail it to me?
Okay. Next case is cause number M333181. Case of style of state of Texas versus Luis Fabian Salazar. Mr. Salazar, your full name is Luis Fabian Salazar.
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Mr. Salazar?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Salazar, you're represented by your attorney. Attorney James Macon, Attorney Macon. What is the announcement in Mr. Salazar's case?
Your Honor, we have the discovery and an offer in the case. I need to finish talking with Mr. Salazar on a few matters. I've asked that it be set to October 7th, the same day as Mr. Bulky.
Okay, we're gonna set this on a pretrial conference docket. Yeah. We got the same issue with the length of time on this one. Give me a, it says October 7th of 2024, Mr. Salazar. You'll be able to get a reset from our court coordinator. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. Please stand behind Mr. Bulky.
No,
James Anthony Thibodeau. Mr. Thibodeau, your full name is James Anthony Thibodeau? How are you doing, Mr. Thibodeau? I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Thibodeau, you're represented by your attorney, James Macon. Attorney Macon, what's your announcement in Mr. Thibodeau's case?
you know, we recently received kind of a different offer in his case, and I haven't had a chance to go over with Mr. Thibodeau. Everything I would ask that it be set on 10/7 also, for a plea on that day.
Okay. This case will be reset for a plea on October 7th of 2024. You're gonna stay in contact with your attorney. Your case is gonna be reset. You can get in line behind Mr. Salazar. Once you get your reset from our court coordinator, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. Next case is cause number 24CCCR 1272, case of Style of State of Texas versus Ty DeMarcus Thompson. Mr. Thompson, your full name is Ty DeMarcus Thompson?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Mr.
I'm
Thompson?
doing good myself.
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Thompson, you're represented by your attorney, Attorney James Macon. Attorney Macon, what is your announcement in Mr. Thompson's case?
You know, Mr. Thompson's case, I just need a short time to finish the negotiations and discovery and everything, and have Mr. Thompson in the office. I'd ask it be set on 10/7 also.
Okay,
Please.
Mr. Thompson, your case will be reset October 7th, 2024, to give your attorney an opportunity to finish the negotiations with the district attorney's office and to get the discovery. And also give him an opportunity to meet with you. So your case will be reset till October 7th, 2024. Our court coordinator is gonna reset your case. Once you get your case reset by the court coordinator, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. Please, you could get in line behind Mr. Thibodeau.
Next week. You even think it's fun to take this.
Yeah, he just.
Okay.
Yeah.
Regina Rose Carroll.
Right here.
Court is in session in two cases. There are cause numbers 23 CCCR 1132 and cause number 23 CCCR 2666. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus Regina Rose Carroll. Ms. Carroll, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Carroll, would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God? Ms. Carroll, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Ms. Carroll?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Ms. Carroll, you represented in your cases by your attorney, Attorney James Macon, Attorney Macon. Do you waive a record in Ms. Carroll's cases?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Carroll, I have before me on my computer a document that is titled Information Sheet. This information sheet was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information sheet, Ms. Carroll, it alleges that you, Regina Rose Carroll, on or about April 8th of 2023, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, operating a motor vehicle in a public place, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated with an alcohol concentration level of 0.15. Oh, now state you are abandoning an enhancement paragraph?
We are, Your Honor.
Ms. Carroll, the state is abandoning the enhancement paragraph, and what that means is instead of being charged with a Class A misdemeanor driving while intoxicated case, you'll be charged with a lesser included offense of driving while intoxicated, which is a Class B misdemeanor. Do you understand that? Now, to the Class B misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated, which allegedly occurred on or about April 8th of 2023, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? Now, you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
I'm guilty.
And let's see, state of abandonments. And Ms. Carroll, I also have before me a document on my tablet. And this document is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments, also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document? On page 2 of this same document, there's a set of initials. There are a set of initials. I think one set is the attorney's initials, JRM, and the next set of initials are C. Did you place your initials on this document? Next to the line that's typed guilty. Now, on page 3 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that's titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes.
And on the next document that's titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled
Yes.
defendant? At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes.
Second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement? I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Carroll, before you sign and initial all of these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes.
And did you read and understand everything that your attorney went over?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct
Yes.
to the best of your knowledge? Ms. Carroll, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
Stay on the same line.
Any
No
objections?
objection, Your Honor.
No objections. States Exhibit Number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Macon, you've advised and counseled Ms. Carroll, is there any evidence that she is incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
And Ms. Carroll, your attorney, Mr. Macon, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Carroll, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
In exchange for defendant's plea, the state's offering 1 year deferred probation, $750 fine, 40 hours community service, interlock, standard conditions of probation, and the state will also be dismissing the companion case with forfeiture.
What is that cost? Okay. Ms. Carroll, the state is offering that you serve 1 year deferred adjudicated probation. During the 1 year probationary period, you will be required to pay a fine of $750. You will be required to pay a DWI conviction fine of $100. You'll also be required to pay court costs of $392, a probation fee of $60 a month, your analysis fee of $15 a month, reimbursement fee of $15. You'll also be required to pay Jefferson County DWI education and initial evaluation fee of $125 on the day of the plea. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Now, your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month while you are on probation, is $196 a month. Will you be able to pay the $196 each month?
Yes, sir.
You will also be required to perform 40 hours of community service, install an interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate, attend and complete a DW education class, have an alcohol assessment. You will be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of your probation. The state will be dismissing the companion case, clause number 23 CCCR 1132 for forfeiture of the weapon in that case. And I have before me a document that is titled Motion to Forfeit. And Ms. Carroll, do you recognize this motion?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that is titled Defendant?
Yes.
Ms. Carroll, before you signed this document, did your attorney go over this document?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in this document?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Okay. Ms. Carroll, the court is going to grant this motion to forfeit the weapon, in this case to the Beaumont Police Department. Ms. Carroll, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes.
Ms. Carroll, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Ms. Carroll, if you successfully complete the probationary period in this case will be dismissed. It will not result in a conviction on your record. And you may qualify for non-disclosure. You can talk to your attorney about the non-disclosure because he's quite competent in those matters. Now, Ms. Carroll, this will conclude the case. Please stand in front of our court coordinator, follow the directions of the bailiff. Once you finish following the directions of the bailiff, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed
You
day,
too. Thank you.
okay? And you will get a copy of your dismissal.
No, it's not right. I said it. One of the last ones.
All right, okay. You have Santiago?
Yes.
Is that Tyler Dominique Santiago? Good morning, Ms. Santiago. Your full name is Tyler Dominique Santiago.
Yes, ma'am.
How you doing?
Good.
That's good. Mr. Santiago, you represented your case by your attorney, Attorney Marvel Provo. Attorney Provo, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine, Your Honor.
And Ms. Provo, what is your announcement in Ms. Santiago's case?
Your Honor, we're asking that this case be placed on the pre-trial docket. I just got some new information that I need to talk to Mr. Huber about in disclosing this case. It's an old case.
Well, no, I seen he was recently appointed,
Yeah.
in July of this year. Yes, they had some problems arresting her. Okay. Give us this pretrial conference, is that October 7th? It's kind of far out. Yeah, okay, we're gonna reset this to October. Now, what day of the week is that? It's a Monday? You could put it on what about the night? We don't have, probably don't have nothing, a lot of cases on the night,
2020-ish.
Or 2019.
within that same week.
But she was living in.
Same victim?
Yeah, we could do that.
Okay.
October 9th. This case will be reset for October 9th, 2024.
She lives in Ohio, the victim does.
Okay, we'll reset it to October 9th, 2024. Ms. Santiago, once you get your reset from your attorney, you're free to go. And you have a blessed day. Ms. Provo, I think this is your only case. You're free to go as well, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Your Honor. No, you did good.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Is he a what? No, he's straight probation. We're not abandoning him. Is that what you're asking?
Mr. Reynolds, what are we doing in your case?
I think the papers are.
Okay. It'll be a plate. And Mr. Vasquez,
Yes, Your Honor.
what are we doing in your case?
Judge, I'm gonna ask for a reset in Ms. Brewer's case so I can complete discovery.
Syntasia Brewer, please come forward.
Good morning, Your Honor. Good morning, James.
Okay, Ms. Brewer, your full name is Syntasia Brewer?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Ms. Brewer? That's good. Ms. Brewer, you representing your case by your attorney Joe Vasquez. Attorney Vasquez, how are you doing?
Good, Your Honor. How about you?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Vasquez, what is your announcement in Ms. Brewer's case?
Judge, could I have a reset in Ms. Brewer's case? I haven't completed discovery.
Okay. Now, I think you was recently appointed on the case. Is that correct? I see, appointment of July 9th of 2024.
I know, I don't remember when it was, Judge, but I know that this is my first appearance with the.
Right, okay. I guess you must have had a long time arrested.
It wasn't until late 2023, Judge,
That
that she was picked up.
Okay. Okay, so we're gonna reset this case, put this on the ninth. I mean, what date is that, the ninth?
Wednesday.
Yeah. You can put it on we don't, huh?
Go ahead and put on the seventh for pretrial.
October 7th? I thought you said it was full. Okay, we'll put it on October 7th then. Okay, we're gonna put it on October 7th,
Thank you.
2024. Mr. Vasquez, once you get your reset, you're free to go. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you're free to go as well. And you're blessed.
Thank you.
Blessed as well.
I'm not.
Okay,
Judge, I'll be back momentarily. I need to see.
Okay.
Mr. Vasquez.
okay. Okay, the court will be in recess.
Y'all need to come in here, I can move.
I would. And regardless, I think it's fine. They're having fun with me. What's the high deal? It's best for the head.
Jefferson County Court, law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session. With the next case, cause number 23 CCCR 0266, case of style of the state of Texas versus Alec James Torres. Mr. Torres, your full name is Alec James Torres.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Torres, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Torres, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Mr. Torres, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Torres?
Good, how about you?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Torres, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney James Macon, Attorney Macon. Do you waive a record in Mr. Torres' case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Torres, I have before me a document that is titled misdemeanor, well, actually it's titled information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, Mr. Torres, it alleges that you, Alec James Torres, on or about September 23rd of 2022, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, operating a motor vehicle in a public place, that you committed to Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated with an alcohol concentration level of 0.15 or more. Mr. Torres, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes.
And to this charge, Mr. Torres, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes.
Mr. Torres, I also have before me a document that is titled misdemeanor plea admonishments. This document is also labeled as State's Exhibit 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
On page 2 of this same document, there are 2 sets of initials, JRM and AT. Did you place your initials AT on the line next to the box that's checked guilty?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes.
And on the next document that's titled trial court certification of the defendant's right of appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes.
The second box that's checked states that you are waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes.
I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes.
Mr. Torres, before you signed and initialed all of these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Mr. Torres, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes.
State Upper States 1.
Any objections?
No objections, States 1, Your Honor.
No objections. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Macon, you've advised and counseled Mr. Torres. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
And Mr. Torres, your attorney, Mr. Macon, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes.
Mr. Torres, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers are freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Mr. Macon, y'all was supposed to check that box that says guilty.
Oh,
Okay, thank you.
sorry about that.
Oh, that's it. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
In exchange for defendant's plea, the state's offering 90 days probated over 1 year, $500 fine, 60 hours community service, interlock and DWI standard conditions.
And they're abandoning the enhancement.
Not on this one, we were not.
No, I thought
This
he
one was a
was,
class A.
This is a class A. And this is Hubel's. He's made no note of that.
And it's not even on the plea papers, doesn't say it's abandoned.
well, as long as he doesn't do the 3 days.
No, he don't have to do 3 days
Look
on
at the
this.
second.
3 days is on the DWI second.
You're cool. I need more coffee.
Me too. I just said check with Marshall.
Okay.
He just said shortly.
What is this courthouse? 377?
Almost time to go get that coffee.
One of them. Products, lupus. My skin's real
Mhm.
thin.
The pencil? Well, that's-
Okay, Mr. Torres, the state is offering that you serve 90 days in Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not be required to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail because you'll be placed on probation for a period of 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $500 plus a DWI conviction fine of $100. You'll also be required to pay court costs of $377, probation fee of $60 a month, your analysis fee of $15 a month, reimbursement fee of $15. You will also be required to pay Jefferson County DWI education and initial evaluation fee of $125 on the day of the plea. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month while you are on probation, is $172 a month. Will you be able to pay the $172 a month?
Yes, sir.
You'll also be required to perform 60 hours of community service, install an interlock device on any vehicle that you don't operate, attend and complete a DWI education class, and have an alcohol assessment. You also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of DWI probation. Mr. Torres, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes.
Mr. Torres, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Torres, this will conclude your case. Please stand next to the bailiff, follow her directions. Once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go. And you have a blessed day. And Mr. Macon, I think this is your only case.
Yes,
You'll be
that's
free to
all.
go as well.
Thank
And you have a
Yes,
blessed day.
you.
Mr. Macon, they need you right here.
That's a copy of the.
Okay,
My first,
yes.
on Mr. Tillman's case, the
Okay,
JP,
hold on a minute.
Oh.
Let's see. This is cause number 24CCCR 0778. Case is style of state of Texas versus Michael C. Tillman. Mr. Tillman is appearing via Zoom. Mr. Tillman, how are you doing?
Good morning. I'm fine, Your Honor.
That's good. Now, Mr. Tillman, you're representing your case by your attorney, Jerry Gilthorpe. Attorney Gilthorpe, how are you doing?
oh, well, Judge, thank you.
And Mr. Gilthorpe, what is your announcement in Mr. Tillman's case?
Judge, we had an agreement, and the JP court rejected our agreement. And so we have renegotiated a new agreement, but that agreement will have to take care of it and we plan on taking care of it in this court. And for that, we would need the defendant's physical presence. And so we'd ask for a reset, at a time. He's given some dates that he lives over 1,000 miles away. of when he could be physically present. And so we'd ask for a reset from one of those dates to plead that case.
Okay, I mean, what are the dates?
It's September 25th or 26th, and then the
Uh-huh.
other date range he had is October. Mr. Tillman, what was it, October?
It was September 26th or 27th,
26th.
and the week of October 21 to the 25th, sir.
Okay, what we look at, what do we look like in September? 27th? Okay, this case will be reset to September 27th at 9 a.m. So this case is reset to September 2024 at 9 a.m. And Mr. Tillman, you need to be here in person. Stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman, or just stay in contact with your attorney. Your attorney will be given notice of the reset. You're free to go. Thanks for being patient with us, and you have a blessed day.
You do the same. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. And you're free to go as well, Mr. Gildos.
Thank you, Jim.
Okay. Naomi McGee. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session and calls number 24 CCCR 0316. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Naomi A. McGee. Ms. McGee, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Ms. McGee, would you please raise your right hand? Ms. McGee, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Ms. McGee, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Ms. McGee?
I'm doing better.
Okay, well, that's good. Now, Ms. McGee, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Benjamin Jeffries. Attorney Jeffries, how are you doing?
Doing well, Your Honor. Thank you.
And Mr. Jeffries, what is your announcement? Well, Mr. Jeffries, do you waive a record in Ms. McGee's case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. McGee, I have before me a document that is titled Information Sheet. This information sheet was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information sheet, Ms. McGee, it alleges that you, Naomi A. McGee, on or about December 6th of 2023, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of resisting arrest. Ms. McGee, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Ms. McGee, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
And are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
I'm pleading no contest, please.
She pleaded no contest? Hold on a minute. Okay, so are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir. That's all right.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
I'm not fighting no one
Okay, I understand.
or nothing.
All right, understand. Now, Ms. McGee, I also have before me, on this tablet,
Mhm.
a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. This document is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir, I do.
On page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials on the line. Next to the box says checked, nolo contendere, which means no contest. Did you place your initials on this document?
I did.
On page 3 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document, that's titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal. Do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line as title defendant?
Yes.
At the top of this document, there are two boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, I do.
The second box checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. You understand that statement? I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. You recognize this document?
Mm-hmm.
And is this your signature on the line as title defendant?
It is.
Now, Ms. McGee, before you sign and initial these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
He did.
And did you read and understand everything that he went over?
Yes, sir, I did.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Ms. McGee, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yeah.
State Upper States one.
Any objections?
No objection.
No objections. State's exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Jeffries, you've advised and counseled Ms. McGee. Is there any evidence that she is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. McGee, your attorney, Mr. Jeffries, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation? Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, I did.
Ms. McGee, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Hold on a minute. December 6th. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
In exchange for defendant's plea, the state's offering 1 year deferred, $400 fine, and 50 hours community service plus court costs.
And he was appointed?
Correct, Your Honor.
Let's see, that's one. And you said it's 277? Okay, Ms. McGee. The state is offering that you serve 1 year deferred adjudicated probation. During the 1 year deferred probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $400 plus court costs of $277. You'll also be required to pay probation fee of $60 a month, your analysis fee of $15 a month, reimbursement fee of $15. You'll also be required to reimburse Jefferson County court-appointed attorney's fees of $250. Your total monthly installments, that is a total amount that you will be required to pay each month while you're on probation, is $167 a month. Will you be able to pay the $167 a month?
Not at the moment.
Okay, just hold on. Do we have her affidavit of indigence? Give me a copy of that. Okay. Mr. McGee, I have before me a document that is titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Indigence. I hand this document to your attorney, and he's going to hand it to you. Ms. McGee, do you recognize that document? On page two of that document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant at the top left-hand corner. Is that your signature? Now, Ms. McGee, is everything on that document still true and correct today? Is that still true? Okay, now, Ms. McGee, the court is going to find that you are indigent. And what that means is, the court will find that you're not able to afford, to pay certain things that's, in this offer because of your, financial situation. And because of that, pursuant to Article 26.05G-11 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, the court will waive the attorney's fees in this case. So you would not have to pay the attorney's fees of $250. And pursuant to Article 102.018 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, the reimbursement fee of $15 will be waived, which means you will not have to pay that either. And pursuant to Article 42.15 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, the fine of $400 plus court costs of $277, which comes to a total of $677, will be converted to 54 hours of community service. So that leaves and the probation fee will be reduced to the statutory minimum of $25 a month from $60 a month. Let's see. So that's 480. So your total monthly installments will be $44 a month. Okay, will you be able to pay that? Okay. Okay, so Ms. McGee, do you understand the state's offer with the court's adjustment? And do you think that is fair and just? And do you accept? Okay. Okay, now, Ms. McGee, if you successfully complete this now, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state along with the adjustments that the court have made pursuant to the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. Now, Ms. McGee, if you successfully complete this probationary period, this case will be reset, will be dismissed. You will not have a conviction on your record, and you may qualify for non-disclosure. You can talk to your attorney about the non-disclosure because he's quite competent in those matters. Now, it's going to take a few minutes for the court coordinator to redraft your judgment. So just have a seat in that first chair on the wall, wait for your name to be called. Once your name is called, go to the window, follow the directions of the bailiff. Once you follow the directions of the bailiff, you're free to go and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Jeffries, you're free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Judge, I was just informed Mr. Wilkerson will not be here today.
Yes,
Okay.
they said he was the doctor's office.
Those two.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Kendra M. Kelly. Is she here?
Yes.
Oh. Good morning, Ms. Kelly. How are you doing? Your attorney, Mr. Wilkerson is not here. He's in his doctor's office.
That's horrible.
So yes, it's bad news. So your case will have to be reset. Okay? And so we're gonna reset your case. Court coordinator is gonna reset your case. Once you get your case reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Please have a seat in that third chair on the wall. Thank you. Tito Simpson. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session and calls number 23 CCCR 2016. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Tito Simpson. Mr. Simpson, is that your full name? Mr. Simpson, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Simpson, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Simpson, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Simpson? That's good. Now, Mr. Simpson, you're representing your case by your attorney, Attorney Nathan Reynolds. Attorney Reynolds, how are you doing?
Doing well, Judge, thank you.
Mr. Reynolds, do you waive a record in Mr. Simpson's case?
No way.
Mr. Simpson, I have before me a document that is titled Information Sheet. This information sheet was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information sheet, Mr. Simpson, it alleges that you, Tito Simpson, on or about May 29th of 2023, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the class A misdemeanor offense of unlawfully carrying a weapon. Mr. Simpson, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Simpson, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Simpson, I also have before me a document on my tablet that is titled misdemeanor plea admonishments. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials, KS, that are on a line next to a box that says check guilty. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On the next page of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document, there's titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. First box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Sir.
I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. You recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Simpson, before you signed and initialed all of these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything that your attorney went over?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Simpson, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State officer states 1.
Objection states one.
No objection. States exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Reynolds, you've advised and counseled Mr. Simpson. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
None to my knowledge.
And Mr. Simpson, your attorney, Mr. Reynolds, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Simpson, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
In exchange for defendant's plea, the state's offering 6 months deferred, $200 fine, 50 hours community service, and forfeiture of the weapon.
What is this court cost? $277? Hmm? Okay. Mr. Simpson, the state is offering that you serve 6 months deferred adjudicated probation. During the 6 months deferred probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $200 plus court costs of $277. You'll be required to pay probation fee of $60 a month, your analysis fee of $15 a month, reimbursement fee of $15. You'll also be required to reimburse Jefferson County for appointed attorney's fees of $250. Now, your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month, is $198 a month. Will you be able to pay the $198 each month?
Yes, sir.
You'll also be required to perform 50 hours community service and adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation. And the state, as part of this plea bargaining agreement, you'll be forfeiting the weapon, in this case, to the Port Arthur Police Department. Mr. Simpson, do you understand? Well, Mr. Simpson, I have before me a document that is titled Motion to Forfeit. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Simpson, before you signed this document, did your attorney go over this document with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you understand everything your attorney went over?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Simpson, the court is going to grant this motion to forfeit the weapon in this case to the Port Arthur Police Department. Now, Mr. Simpson, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in this case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Simpson, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. Now, Mr. Simpson, if you successfully complete this probationary period, this case will be dismissed. It will not result in a conviction on your record, and you may qualify for a non-disclosure. You can talk to your attorney about the non-disclosure because he's quite competent in those matters. Okay. Now, Mr. Simpson, please stand in front of the court coordinator, follow the directions of the bailiff. Once you finish following the directions of the bailiff, you're free to go, and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Reynolds, you're free to go as well, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
She's gonna finish with them before it's recovery.
This is cause number 24 CCCR 0330. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Joshua Prevost. Mr. Prevost, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Mr. Prevost?
Okay.
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Mr. Prevost. You're represented in your case by your attorney Ryan Matuska. Attorney Matuska is appearing via Zoom. Mr. Matuska, how are you doing?
Morning, Judge.
Good morning. Now, Mr. Matuska, what is your announcement in Mr. Prevost's case?
Judge, I'm gonna need another reset on Mr.
Okay,
Prevost. We're still
Mr.
trying to,
Matuska, you're
Yeah.
in court. You gotta take that hat off your head. Okay. Now, what is your announcement in Mr. Prevost's case?
Your Honor, we're asking for another announcement. I'm still collecting discovery from Mr. Prevost.
Okay. Okay, give us a reset date for announcement.
October the 11th.
Okay, this case is reset to October 11th of 2024. Mr. Matuska, your reset will be sent to you, and Mr. Prevost, you're gonna get your reset here in court. Once you get your reset from our court coordinator, you'll be free to go. You have a blessed day and stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman. Please have a seat in that first chair on the wall. And Mr. Matuska, you're free to go, and you have a blessed day as well.
Thank you, Ron.
Okay,
Contact information.
should be on your, reset. Okay, Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. Court is in session in 2 cases. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus Trevorius Almontre Delano White. but he's only disposing of one case.
He's disposing of two, Judge.
Okay. Okay. Jefferson County Court at Law is in session and calls numbers 24 CCCR 0360 and calls number 24 CCCR 0425. All two cases of style of state of Texas versus Travarius Amontre Delano White. Mr. White, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. White, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. White, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. White, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. White? I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. White, I have before me, well, Mr. White, your attorney in this case is Attorney Jennifer DeLage. Ms. DeLage, how are you doing?
Fantastic. How are you, Judge?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Ledge, do you waive a record in Mr. White's cases?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. White, I have before me a document that is titled Information in Cause Number 24 CCCR 0360. This document was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this document, it alleges that you, Travarius Amontre Delano White, on or about November 8th of 2023, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of possession of dangerous drugs. Mr. White, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. White, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Okay.
Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges? Mr. White, I also have before me a document on my tablet that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments, also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, there's a signature on a line next to a box that's checked guilty. That's checked nolo contendere, which means no contest. You place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is this your signature? And on the next document that's titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? At the top of this document, there are two boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement? The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
I also have a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? Mr. White, before you sign and initial these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? And Mr. White, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State over states one.
Any objections?
No objection.
No objections. State's Exhibit Number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Lodge, you advised and counseled Mr. White. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
And Mr. White, your attorney, Mr. Lodge, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation, with her representation? Has she provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. White, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. And I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement in this case?
In exchange for defendant's plea, the state's offering 90 days probated over 1 year, $300 fine, 40 hours community service and court cost.
And Mr. Lodge, you were appointed in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, it's Miss Jackson, it's no, 277 for court costs, but the attorney's fees in this case is 250 or
300.
60. Okay. Make sure you print his affidavit of vengeance.
He's not.
Something's happening.
Okay.
Something. Don't know what, but something.
Okay, Mr. White, the state is offering that you serve 90 days in Jefferson County Jail, but you will never be required to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail because you'll be placed on probation for a year. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $300 plus court costs of $277. You'll be required to pay a probation fee of $60 a month, or your analysis fee of $15 a month, reimbursement fee of $15. You'll also be required to pay or reimburse the Jefferson County Court appointed attorney's fees of $250. Your total monthly installment.
And the 300 needs to go.
Oh. Okay, hold on a minute. Okay, now, Mr. White, the state is offering that you serve 90 days in Jefferson County Jail, but you will not have to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail because you'll be placed on probation for 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $300 plus court costs of $277. You'll be required to pay a probation fee of $60 a month, a urinalysis fee of $15 a month, reimbursement fee of $15, and you will be required to reimburse Jefferson County court appointed attorney's fees of $300. Your total monthly installments, that is, the total amount that you will be required to pay each month is $163 a month. Will you be able to pay the $163 a month or not? You will be able to pay the $163 a month. You will also be required to perform 40 hours of community service and adhere to the other standard terms and condition of probation. Now, Mr. White, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer? Mr. White, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have made in this case. And now, Mr. White, we will move to your next case. Your next case is cause number 24CC Sierra 0425. And in this case, Mr. White, I have before me a document that is titled Information This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. And in this information, it alleges that on or about November 8th of 2023, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of unlawfully carrying a weapon. Mr. White, do you understand what you have been charged with? And to this charge, Mr. White, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges? Mr. White, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Do you recognize this document? On page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials, TW, on a line next to a box says check nolo contendere, which means no contest. Did you place your initials on this document? I also have another document that's titled Trial Court Certification. Well, also on this same document on page 3, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is this your signature? And on the next document that's titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, you recognize this document. And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement? The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement? I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor, that's titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? Now, Mr. White, before you signed and initialed all of these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney, Mr. Lodge, go over these documents with you? And did you read and understand everything that Mr. Lodge went over? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Say over 6 months.
Any objections? No objections. States exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Oh, okay, you have to sign this.
Okay, this judge.
Hey, Mr. Lodge, you've advised and counseled Mr. White. Is there any evidence that he's currently mentally incompetent to stand trial in this case?
No, Your Honor.
And Mr. White, your attorney, Mr. Lodge, is advised and counseled you satisfied with her representation in this case?
Yes, sir.
As she provided fully effective and competent legal representation. Mr. White, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
In exchange for defendant's plea, the
What's
state's
this for?
offering 1 day in the Jefferson County Jail, credit for 1 day, and with that, I believe we'll put that towards the court costs in
It's
this case.
277.
That 1 day will go towards,
So he only had to spend 1 day in jail.
correct,
You
Judge.
got out the same day that you went in? Okay,
And then we'll also be forfeiting the weapon.
okay. Now, Mr. White, state is offering that you serve 1 day in the Jefferson County Jail. You'll be given credit for the 1 day that you've already spent in jail. The court cost in this case is $277. You'll have, since you spent 1 day in jail, that 1 day is $100 credit that will go toward the court cost. Now, the court cost is $277, and with the 1 day credit, it'd be $177. Will you be able to pay the $177 court cost today?
Today?
Today.
No, sir.
Okay. Let's see his affidavit of indigence on Mr. White. No, that was on son, that's on somebody else, Simpson.
Okay.
Time served with that will amount.
You have it?
I'm pretty good.
That's it. Mr. White, I'm handing your attorney a document that is titled Affidavit of Indigence. Would you please take a look at that document? Do you recognize that document? On page 2 of that same document, at the top left-hand corner, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant's Signature. Is that your signature? Now, Mr. White, is everything on that document? Go back to the first page. Your financials are still correct and true today? Okay, Mr. White, the court is going to find that you're indigent. And based on the finding of indigency, in this case, the balance of $177 court costs are, well, just the court costs period will be waived. Okay? That means you won't have to pay it. Now, Mr. White, do you understand the state's offer? You think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
Do you accept the state's offer? Now, Mr. White, let me do this here. I have this motion to forfeit before me. Do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? And your attorney went over this document with you before you signed it? And you understood everything that she went over? And is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. White, I'm going to grant the motion to forfeit the weapon in this case. And I will follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. White, just please have a seat in that first chair. And when the court coordinator is ready, she's going to call you up to her window to finalize the case. You'll follow the directions of the bailiff. Once you finish following the directions of the bailiff, you're free to go and you have a blessed day.
Judge, Mr. Jimenez, he is here.
Okay.
I think he
Okay,
was
Ms.
previously-
Flood, this is your only 2 cases. You're free to go. And you have a blessed day.
You too.
Have a good
You're
weekend.
welcome. Mr. Simpson and Mr. Reynolds,
Yes, sir.
come back forward, come back up. Could you send, well, I don't need it. Okay, the court is back in session in cause number 23CCCR 2016, case of South State of Texas versus Keto Simpson. Mr. Simpson appeared before the court a few minutes ago with his attorney, Mr. Buddy Reynolds. And Mr. Simpson entered a plea of guilty to the Class A misdemeanor offense of unlawfully carrying a weapon. He acknowledged that he recognized State's Exhibit number 1, which is misdemeanor plea admonishments. He also acknowledged that he recognized the discovery certification and trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal. He stated that he was a citizen of Jefferson. Well, he was a citizen of the United States. Mr. Reynolds did waive a record in the case. Mr. Reynolds also acknowledged that Mr. Simpson, that there was no evidence that Mr. Simpson was mentally incompetent to stand trial. Mr. Simpson stated that he was satisfied with the services of his attorney, and the state offered that Mr. Simpson serve 6 months deferred adjudicated probation with a fine of $200 plus court costs and community service of 50 hours. The court told Mr. Simpson that his fine was $200 and court cost was $277, and the probation fee was $60 a month. Your license fee of $15 a month, reimbursement fee of $15, and he was required to reimburse Jefferson County, the court-appointed attorney's fees of $250, which came to a total of $198 a month. When the court asked Mr. Simpson if he could afford to pay the $198 a month, he stated that he could. However, and so once his, and also this case, there was a forfeiture of the weapon in this case to the Port Arthur Police Department. And while Mr. Simpson was finalizing the paperwork, he indicated to court personnel that he could not pay the $198 a month. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, Mr. Simpson, I have before me a document that is titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Indigence. I'm gonna hand this document to your attorney, and he will hand the document to you, Mr. Simpson. Do you recognize that document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of that document, there's a signature at the top left-hand corner above the line that is titled Defendant's Signature. Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Now, your attorney will go back to the first page. Is everything on that document still true and correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Mr. Simpson, the court is gonna find that you are indigent. Oh, thank you. Okay, now Mr. Simpson, indigent. Okay. Mr. Simpson. The state is offering that you serve 6 months deferred adjudicated probation. During the 6-month probationary period, you're required to pay a fine of $200 plus court costs of $277, which comes to a total of $477. Now that $477 will be converted to 38 hours of community service pursuant to Article 42.15 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. And the $250 attorney's fees, you will not be required to pay that because that will be waived pursuant to Article 26.05 G-11 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. And the reimbursement fee of $15 will be waived pursuant to Article 102.018 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. And so therefore, you'll be required to pay, is that right? Yeah, you'll be required to pay the statutory minimum on probation fee of $25 a month, and you'll be required to pay reimbursement fee. That should be good. Oh. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so, you'll be required to pay the statutory minimum, on the probation fee of $25 a month. You'll also be required to pay the reimbursement fee, $15 a month. Your total monthly installments is $48 a month. Will you be able to pay the $48 each month?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, Mr. Simpson, do you understand the state's offer and the adjustments that the court made pursuant to the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure?
Yes, sir.
And do you think that is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll follow the people in agreements that you have entered into the state. You're gonna have a seat in that first chair. It's gonna take a while for the well, before you do that. Now, Mr. Simpson, who are you here with?
My dad.
Okay, your dad is here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, Mr. Simpson, how old are you?
18.
You 18?
Yes, sir.
Okay, have you graduated from high school?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's good. Now, the next thing you need to do is probably get off your damn payroll and get you a job,
Yes, sir.
okay?
Yes, sir.
Because I see like your dad probably took off work. If he didn't tell, I see him with some no maxes on. I thought he might have. Oh, now that's even worse. Now he been working all day, all night. He got off work at 6 o'clock to come down here with you this morning. You see what's wrong with that picture?
Yes, sir.
Okay. He need to be going to a graduation, okay? Because this doesn't make him proud. Okay, but I can assure you that what you did here today does not prevent you from doing whatever you want to do in life,
Yes, sir.
okay? Because your attorney worked out a good deal with you. If you successfully complete this probationary period, you won't have this conviction on your record. And you can get a non-disclosure. You could talk to your attorney about that, okay?
Yes, sir.
Now, I know you're 18 years old, you have friends, and I'm sure you have some friends, some of your real close friends that's real close to you, say, that's my ride or die. They'll stick to me through thick and thin. But on days like today, I don't see them with you. Okay? Only person I see with you is that man that put a roof over your head, put clothes on your back, and put food on the table. Okay? And you know why he's here? He's here because because he loves you. That's your ride or die. Okay, I tell people this all the time. Everybody not your friend, everybody not your partner. But when that man say he got you, he got you. Okay? I know you didn't listen to everything that he told you growing up. I didn't listen to everything that my dad and my mama told me when I was growing up. But there was some things that I did listen to. But I can tell you this here, I can assure you that whatever they told you, it was not designed to hurt you. It was designed to help you. Because where you are, they've already been. And where you're trying to go, they've already been. And so they're trying to make your life a lot easier for you if you would just listen to them. Okay?
Yes, sir.
And so, as I mentioned earlier, you're going to have some ups and downs in life. We all have ups and downs. Every day is not sunshine. You're going to have some rain. You're going to have some storm in your life, okay? But when you're walking through a storm, hold your head high and don't be afraid of the dark. Because at the end of the storm, there's a golden sky and a sweet silver song of the Lord. Walk on through the wind, walk on through the rain, though your dreams be tossed and blown. Walk on with hope in your heart, and you never walk alone. You're walking through a storm right now, but you have hope, just have hope in your heart, okay? You'll never walk alone. Anything that you want to do in life, you can do it if you only believe.
Yes, sir.
Okay? This is a minor setback, but a minor setback is only a setup for a major comeback. Okay?
Yes, sir.
You can come back and make that man proud. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. And one of these days when he's like me with no hair or have gray hair, you can take care of him. Okay? You can reverse it and take care of him. Okay. So you can return the love that has been extended to you by your father and your parent. Okay. All right. So another thing, there's a program at Lamar University that's called CICE. It's a program where you can go, they give you training in the hotel industry, the shipping industry, and the chemical industry. Okay. Not only that, but they'll help you to get a job. I have a flyer here that I'm going to give to you, and there's a number on there, and you can call that place, and if you're interested, it's free. It doesn't cost you anything but time. And like my dad used to say, I got more time than money. Okay. And so you got a lot of time to make a change in your life. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. And so you can thank your lawyer. He did a great job for you today. And Mr. Reynolds, thanks for coming back, taking care of this matter. You're free to go. You have a blessed day. And you can just have a seat when they have your paperwork ready. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Just follow her directions. Y'all have a blessed day. And thanks for coming down here with your son. And Jimenez. Okay. Mr. Jimenez? No, that's his fine. What we have on Mr. Jimenez?
I don't believe he has an attorney, Judge.
Okay, now before we get to Mr. Jimenez, Mr. William Timothy Brown? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Brown, we've been trying to get in contact with your attorney, Mr. Burbank. I know Mr. Burbank was in trial all week, and we've tried to get in contact with his office. We've been unable to do so. So your case has to be reset. I know from looking at the notes, it says that the defendant was offshore working until 2 months from, okay. So are you back on shore?
I actually leave to go back. I was hoping that when I spoke to my lawyer yesterday, we were able to get this done. I leave tomorrow morning for a 45-day hitch.
Okay, so we're gonna reset you past 45 days. to give you time to, do that, and then we're gonna, send notice to your attorney. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Give us a reset date. Now, let me ask you this here, when you go out, do you, at least when you go out 45 days, when you come back in, how long are you in?
Honestly, with my career, sir, I could be in for 2 days or I could be in for 2 weeks.
Okay.
I do commercial diving, so it's completely different. I don't do 2 weeks on, 2 weeks
Okay,
off.
I understand. So let's give him 40, right at after 45 days.
Okay.
Today the 30th, so that is September, October, yeah, that'd be about right. Okay, we're gonna reset this case to October 16th
Okay.
of 2024. Stay in contact with your attorney, your bondsman. Thanks for being patient with us. You're free to go, and you have a blessed day. And we hope
You
that
too.
you have a good holiday and that you stay safe in the type of work that you do.
Thank you very much, and you have a good day too, sir.
All right, thank you.
All right, bye.
He wanted to tell me, want me to tell you that he's in actually engineering program right now. Because he just graduated high school.
Oh,
He's
okay.
fine.
Okay. 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 So, Mr. Jimenez, your name is Raul Jimenez?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, Mr. Jimenez,
He ain't done anything.
well, his case was already reset for him to hire an attorney. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
What?
Okay, so we should already, so have you hired your attorney? Why haven't you hired your attorney?
Well, I did call him, but today he was.
Okay, you said you called him, so so there's a lawyer that you're talking to?
Well, supposedly it was gonna get me an appointment, but I never got a call back.
Okay, so you just have to call them back. Is that correct? So how much time do you need to hire your attorney? How many times, hold on a minute. Let me see when he first did his judge's explanation. Jimenez. Let me see his judge's explanation. Here we go. So you just did a judge's explanation in July 2nd of 2024, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so, so this is, okay, so we're gonna just give him a 30-day reset. We're gonna reset you to hire. Okay, it's gonna be reset that you have until October the 9th to hire your attorney. Okay, you're gonna get your reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, from our coordinator, you're free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
Okay, and let's see, like we have a bond forfeiture on a Larry son. Yeah, stand over here. Larry Saunier.
Yeah.
Okay, this is cause number M329348. Case of style, hold on a minute, Larry Saunier, lucky you know something. Oh, did it take a while to arrest him?
No, he was here, but we gave him a reset to have.
Oh, so he made an appearance before? When was that? Okay, so he was given a reset to hire? Okay. Okay, this is cause number M329348, case of style of state of Texas versus Larry Jerome Saunier, Jr. Mr. Saunier was scheduled to be in court this morning at 9 a.m. At or about 9 a.m., court's bailiff called the name of Larry Saunier at the courthouse door. Mr. Saunier did not answer. A reasonable time has been given to Mr. Saunier. Mr. Saunier has not appeared in court since the court has been in session. The time now is 11:08 a.m. on today's date of August 30th, 2024. Ms. Bailiff, would you please call the name of Larry Saunier Jr. at the courthouse door?
response, Your Honor.
Okay, Larry Saunier Jr.'s name was just called at the courthouse door. Larry Saunier Jr. did not answer. A reasonable time has passed to give Mr. Saunier an opportunity to appear in court. He is not appearing in court. State, do you have a motion?
State moves for bond forfeiture.
That motion will be granted. Larry Saunier bond will be forfeited. Warrant shall be issued for his arrest. And clause number M329348. I'll also note for the record that Mr. Saunier's case was filed in April 30th, 2021. He was not arrested until April 9th of 2024. He made one court appearance, his first court appearance on July, and he failed to appear today. Okay, so his bond will be forfeited. And this will conclude the calling of the court's announcement docket on today's date of August 30th of 2024 in Jefferson in County Court at Law Number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas. Judge Terrence at Holmes presiding. Everyone, please have a blessed day, and prosecutors, you are free to go.
Thank you, Judge. Have a great weekend.
You're welcome, and everyone have a blessed weekend.